Hello everyone, I'm FARMERSIM and welcome back to the Oak Bridge Chronicles down here on Oak Bridge Farm. I do hope you're all doing very, very well and having a great day. So, I'm going to, you know what, as I always do, let's just turn off that engine so I'm not talking over the noise. And again, try not to walk into my my new bale spikes. Actually, that's something I've just purchased for £1,200. Yeah, nice JCB bale spike there from Ross N Mods as part of the whole JCB packages that he recently made on the mod hub, because one or two slight changes that I've made, nothing too dramatic of course, but one thing I have done is I've turned off universal auto load, so any bale loading or anything loading tasks from now on will be done properly by myself in the telehandler with the pallet forks or the bale spikes or whatnot, just to, you know, I feel it's just the right thing to do. And another very minor change that I've made, a little amendment to I made just to the numbers in the base game biogas plant. I've increased the capacity of the 250 kilowatt BG8 that we've got over in the distance to 1 million litres for all of the varying products that it holds. So if I just jump very quickly into the, just to show you for no apparent reason. But yeah, as you can see, yeah, we've got 1 million litre storage of manure, silage, slurry, sugar beet, and digestate. Now, I've not amended any of the cycles per month. I've not amended any of the cost per month, so I'm not going to profit from it. It's not going to give me too much of an advantage. All it just means is I can put all the silage, like for example, the silage that we've got here stashed away in bale form. I can take all of that out, pop it into the biogas plant, and over here we've got, I think, if I remember correctly, somewhere in the region of about 290,000 litres of, yeah, 289,888. So when this is done fermenting, which will be in a little while's time, currently at 38%, when that's all done, we can load it up and take it over to the biogas plant, and I just don't have to worry about sitting on quantities of silage while we wait for the biogas plant to do its thing. It's something I've done a few times, to be fair, so on varying different saves, it's just something I do relatively regular, it's just how I like to play, I suppose. So right, so let's pop this trailer into a half decent orientation so I can let's just stick it there. It's as good a place as any. So I'm going to unload all of these. How many have we got? We've got 36 in total, so let's unload those there. And before we go any further, let's unwrap them. There we go. Again, vain attempt at trying to do things properly, as it were. Don't want to be putting any of this wrap into the biogas plant, do we? There we go. Is that all of those? There we go. Now, the primary focus of today's episode, I think, is going to be feeding the fields. I'll jump into the PDA and show you in a few moments' time when we've unwrapped all of these. And there's the last one there. We do need to dig out a few more, but yeah, the focus is going to be feeding the fields. We've got just under 104 acres of land to give its second coat of fertilizer to. That's all of them there, I think. There we go. Excellent stuff. No, I want to unload. Unwrap, sorry, not unload. Get that bottom one. Thank you very much. You'll be able to press the button away from the trigger there. There we are. Nice. Oh, and there's a few more at the end there as well. Which has meant that the trailer's not in the best place now, I suppose, is it? Oh, I'll manage. I'm sure I'll manage. But yeah, so let's have a look into the map PDA very quickly. So we've got field 4 up here, which is our wheat. This is 48, just over 48 acres. We've got field 10 and field 17 here, 2 fields of grass. Now, over in the biogas plant, we have currently got just over 81,000 litres of digestate. Now, our slurry tanker spreader has a capacity of 20,000, so we've got essentially 4 tankers worth of digestate. So what I'm going to try and do, I think, is we're going to try and see what we can get covered in field 17. Now, it helps out that this is actually close to the biogas plant as well, so it's going to mean not too long journeys back and two between filling tankers up. But I'm going to see how far we can get coating this field with its second coat of fertilizer using the big Bomec dribble bar and slurry tanker. So that's the plan, and what's left of field wise anyway, we will get coated with the Massey Ferguson and the our liquid fertilizer sprayer that we used in the last episode. Now I do need to be careful with this. I also need to be mindful that I'm going to be towing this trailer with the JCB, and we do have a couple of hills to factor in, and that's not perfectly straight, is it? Still, we'll manage. So yeah, I need to make sure that I don't properly overload it. So I did wonder whether I do the bales 2 high or 3 high. I'm not too sure, but I think, you know what, we'll go for 3 high, and if on the first trip over to the biogas plant it feels like it's struggling a bit, the next load will do with just 2 high, but we shall see. We shall see. So, let's get this done. Like I say, we've got a little bit of time ahead of us before the bunker has fermented, so we'll get this lot loaded into the biogas plant anyway. And, oh, look at that. Got it too close to the little headboard there. There we are. Carefully does it. And the right thing to do, just so that I don't cause myself an absolute nightmare. Get those first loads strapped in. Right, so I shall crack on with this. Get all of this lot loaded over to the BGA. And I'll see you soon.
As above, so below. I like to watch you closely. You're looking toward the stars. For all the answers that you hold inside you. The cool moonlight takes us tonight. Let our souls collide. For
Right, well, there we go. Job done. Now, I'm sure you would have seen from that quick time lapse there that, yes, my bag of talent still has a couple of holes in it. Now, as you could probably tell, I'm trying to do things properly. Yes, I know you can dump the bales by the side of the loading area there at the biogas plant, and they just vanish and go in. But I'm sure you can appreciate I'm trying to do things even remotely properly. So you know, hence why I took the time to load all the bales in and out as much as I could. Now, yes, I know, the toppling of the bales, that was all, you know, I hold my hands up, that was all my fault. You know, I knocked into the trailer the first time. It felt like it was going so well initially, but obviously just one slight knock and that sent them all tumbling, but hey-ho. But I've got to say, I think if the bales were heavier, or if the weight, if there's something to do with the coding of the game, if a ton in the game was actually a ton, then, if you know what I mean, then I think the bales wouldn't quite move around and wouldn't topple quite so easily, because they are heavy bales, or they were heavy bales. Obviously I haven't got the number to hand right now as to what they should have weighed, but it shouldn't be that easy for a bale of such weight to topple so easily. I was doing things as slowly as possible, because I believe that is the trick when it comes to moving bales, for example, and another example is reversing dolly trailers. You know, header trailers that have got the dolly trailer on the dolly wheel on the front. They can be really, really difficult to move around, but it's to do with the speed that you're moving at, and it's too easy to do in Farming Simulator. I use a control pad, so I do have a, you know, like the trigger button at the top corner of the control pad, so it is easy to kind of modulate the use of the accelerator. But I can't imagine how difficult it would be just using WASD on a keyboard, for example. But if you've got the capacity to, and I'd imagine it'd be even easier as well using a steering wheel and pedals. But if you're really, really careful with your throttle and really, you know, careful with the usage of your throttle, for example, and just not pressing it too hard and moving slowly, because that's the trick, and take your time, you can get the job done generally as a rule without causing too much hassle and dropping bales, for example, like I just did then. But yeah, when it comes to like for moving dolly trailers around, it's so much easier when you go really, really slowly, because that's what happens in real life. I kind of took note of this over the last couple of weeks, and I've been watching some videos on YouTube of actual farmers, like Millennial Farmer, for example. I was watching him the other day, and he was moving a vehicle out of his shed, and he was reversing it really, really slowly, as you would do. And I thought to myself, well, when you're doing that in Farming Simulator, you tend to just push the accelerator and whiz out the shed, and you might achieve a reversing speed of 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 miles an hour, something like that perhaps. And that's too fast, really, if you were aiming for full realism. And then it got me to thinking, is there a way of limiting the speed? You know, for example, in reverse, is there a way of... I don't think there is. It's just, you've just got to be really careful with how you push your throttle. But it's just one of those things. It just got me to thinking, that's all. But anyway, I'm not blaming anything for any of my bale dropping activities there. That was all my fault. But got to say, got to give me some kind of recognition for doing it properly, I suppose, or trying to do it properly. Right, anyway, enough of that. I think we're done now for that little activity. We've got those bales out the way, thankfully, so I'll just pop this nicely in here. But yeah, if you just... I mean, let's just see what, off the top of my head, what does this do in reverse? So if I go barreling back now, there you go, 6, 7, 8, I would have achieved 8, 9, 10 miles an hour there. But if you just go really, really slowly, like 1, 2 miles an hour, 3 miles an hour tops perhaps, that's when I feel it's a little bit more realistic. Because a farmer wouldn't be, you know, nonchalant with his big expensive piece of machinery and go reversing back at silly speeds, would he? You look after your stuff, you don't want to crash it into things. Right, anyway, let's pop that down there. Lower to the ground, that'll do. Excellent stuff. That bale spike's really quite good as well. Nice and wide with the 4 prongs on it, so I can grab those bales as easily as possible. Right, so next on the agenda is we need to get sorted. We need to load up with a bit of digestate, so we need to make our way back. We need to make our way over to the cow barn, first of all. Pick up our slurry tanker with the dribble bar attached. and go head on over to the biogas plant, fill up with the first tank of digestate. And like I said before, we've got just over 80,000 litres of the stuff over at the biogas plant, so I'm hoping... Initially I was going to have a go at just this field here, because this is the smallest field we've got to give its second coat of fertilizer. But I thought, no, we can, we'll push the boat out a bit and see what we can do with field 17, the big field of grass. So we'll get this thing filled up, and I'll pick you up in a moment or two's time over at the biogas plant. Okay, here we are. Now, I almost wasted a bit of a trip there. I almost made a trip all the way over here with an empty tanker, and we had 35,000 litres of slurry over there in the cow barn that needed bringing over here for processing. So, filled it up. And let's just, there we go. The trigger's roughly about there. Let's get that tipped into there nicely. May as well. There's no point making a trip all the way up here with an empty tanker, is there? That seems a complete waste. Now, one thing I do actually need to do is to make sure that I don't have, and I don't, the double application rate, because that's the last thing we want to do. We only need one coat. So there we go. Needed to check up on that one, and then we just need to pull over to the side a little bit further and fill up. Let's bring up that F1 menu. Actually, should be somewhere about here. Start filling. Yes, 82,000 now, so we've got a little bit more. It's obviously been busy. Let's just have a quick check, actually, going into our production systems menu, where we're up to with the numbers in here. So we've got 16,800 litres of manure. We do have, I think we've got about 30,000 litres of manure over at the cow barn as well. That's another job that needs to get done, but that will be in a future episode. 36,000 litres of slurry, and where are we now? Yeah, that's about right, I think. And now we've got 62,893 litres of digestate. Brilliant. So, like I said, we're going to aim to get as much done in field 17 as we can, and that is literally right next door to where we are here, which is one of the main reasons why I chose to have a go at this field as well. Not only because it is big, and I am very keen to see how far this digestate goes and how much of this field we can get done, but because there'll be a lot less driving back and to. So, let's select the dribble bar, get that unfolded. Now, it is a beast, this thing. It's an absolute whopper. I can't remember the exact work width, but it's big nonetheless. And I didn't pull up and leave myself enough room there, did I? So that looks about right from there, I think. Look at the size of this thing. It's massive. First time we're properly using this in the series as well, ladies and gentlemen. We have used it once or twice for shifting slurry back into the BGA, but we haven't actually got the dribble bar out and used it to apply some product to a field. So, here we go. Let's get this going. Again, in my usual fashion, I'm going to stick a bit of music behind this and make a bit of a cinematic out of this job. Looking forward to getting this running. So, I'll pick you all up in a wee while's time, and we'll see how far this lot's gone. There we go, ladies and gentlemen, job done. Now, a couple of minutes into the start of that cinematic there, when I started getting the tractor running in the field, I realised that I actually had a mod sat in my mod folder that I downloaded, I want to say about a week or so ago, from the mod hub, that I hadn't activated, and it's one that, well, I'd been meaning to activate, and now that I have done, what it is meant is that it makes the spraying of the slurry and the manure and digestate and all that kind of stuff go a heck of a lot further. And it is the Adjust Spray Levels mod by Seabay. It's on the mod hub, it is for PC only, but it's absolutely brilliant, and it has just made that go so much further. As you've just seen, we've still got 44,000 litres left in the biogas plant there, and we barely use any of the tank that we had, that I filled up during the making of that cinematic there. So, hello mate, where are you going? So with that in mind, I am now almost completely confident that we're going to be able to get the much bigger wheat field over towards the north of the map there done with this, which is excellent. But what I am going to do, obviously, I'm going to switch tractors over to the Massey Ferguson, because that's got the row crops. Again, I know the crop growth isn't at the stage yet where we'll destroy it, but I just don't like the idea of riding over my freshly drilled crop with these beefy tyres on this thing. So I think just for, again, holding on to a little bit of realism, and I'm not trying to contradict myself by obviously, you know, talking about the use of the Adjust Spray Levels mod, but yeah, I think it'll be a good idea to throw the Massey with this Bomet dribble bar and slurry tank into that field, get it spread, and get the second level of fertilisation done, because obviously looking at the field there behind us, if I jump into the map PDA, there we are, job done, every single square inch covered, and really, you know, taking advantage of the amount of digestate that we've got thanks to that mod. So that's absolutely brilliant. Really glad that I remembered to use that and get it activated. So I did just jump in and out of the game and activate the mod, and sure enough, if I jump into the, I'll just show it you very quickly, but you get an extra little menu here, Adjust Spray Levels, there it is, and you can just adjust your fertilizer, liquid fert, sorry, lime and herbicide down to the different percentages. So I have dropped digestate down to 10%. Obviously at the minute, without precision farming or anything like that, it doesn't make a difference as long as the game recognises that you're spraying some fertilizer or spreading some fertilizer in the field. It reads it and recognises it. So that's, at the minute, that's all that matters. I can't imagine precision farming would like that too much when it's looking for particular amounts of fertiliser on a particular crop, on a particular soil type. That might be a whole different story. But for now, I'm happy to take advantage of this mod. So we've got 20,000 litres behind us in the tank. I am gonna get this one done off camera, and just because I've just done that one, so I'll get this one done. So for me it'll be a little while, but for you it'll be a matter of moments. I'll get all this thing swapped over, and I'll pick you up in a few moments' time when this field's done, and we'll see what we've got left in the tank behind us, if anything. So, catch you soon. Done, and look at what we've got left in the tank, 8,449 litres. So we've used, for that entire field, which was 15 acres bigger than the grass field that we've just done, we've used 11,551 litres, which is, I mean, for the way I like to play the game, that mod makes it perfect for me, because I've just never really enjoyed the fact of having to go back and tune how quickly manure and slurry and digestate go, basically. And so I really appreciate mods like this, where you can just dial that usage down and make a tank go a heck of a lot further, which it really has. So the fact that I've got 42% left in here means I'm almost 110% confident that I'm going to be able to go and spread what we've got left in that little grass field, because that's a considerably smaller size than the one we've just done. So much like before, very quickly, I'm just going to go and get this done. I can't imagine it's going to take long at all. It'll be a couple of minutes, and then that is all of our fields topped up, fed, and the soil nutrition levels exactly where they need to be. So let's get this thing opened up again for the last time today, and get this digestate spread. There we go, completely finished off, and we've still got 3,910, I think, litres in the back of the tank. That's my kind of mod, I must admit. Now, I appreciate not all of you will agree with that kind of a thing, but that's my kind of thing. That I love the idea of that mod, just reducing the usage of certain fertilizers, lime, manure, slurry, digestate. Yep. Right up my street. But there we go, so the jobs are done. I did just run around and pick up all of the bits that I missed, of which there were several. But needless to say, the fields are done. So jumping very quickly into the PDA, as you can see, all of our fields have now got the second level of fertilizer. We still need to lease out that weeder and get field 21 here ran through with that, just to get rid of those weeds, and then that stands us in very good stead to make our way through winter. Now, the cows are all sorted. They've got plenty of food. The Lily bot keeps on top of that for us, but I've made sure that we have got plenty of products in there for them to see through the winter. That's all good. We've still got 290,000 litres of silage in the bunker there to sell, or to put into our BG8 when that's fully fermented. So that's all good. We've only got 37,000 in the bank. I appreciate that, but we do still have. We've got a little bit of milk here to get to take over to the dairy. I do need to go and check up on the dairy actually, and the goats are obviously they now produce their goat milk as well, so we've got that to fall back on. See what we can make from that. But for today's episode, ladies and gentlemen, I think I am going to call it here. Thank you very much for watching. I really do hope you have enjoyed the video and found it a little bit of fun. As always, if you're new to the channel and you like my content, you like the way I'm doing things, please consider hitting that subscribe button and jumping on board, joining the channel. Please give the video a like if you can. It does do wonders, helps the YouTube algorithm do its thing. And as always, there are a host of links in the video description below with my Giants Partner promo code. If any of you are in the market for purchasing Farming Simulator 25 and you like the idea of supporting the channel and helping out a creator, as always, I would be massively appreciative. And also, if any of you are in the market for an online server and you like the idea of helping out a channel again and supporting the channel, but you also like the idea of a 10% reduction in the cost of that server, please consider using my G-Portal affiliate link, which again will be in the video description below. Any help and support there also would be massively appreciated. So, thanks again for your time, everybody. Take care, and I'll see you in the next one.